In this tutorial, we're going to talk about rotation. Now, you can get to the rotate tool by hitting the letter R, which takes you to the rotate tool, or get to it just by clicking on the rotate tool on the toolbox. After I have my rotate tool selected, I can hit enter and this dialog box appears. It currently is giving me the value that I had used earlier in another exercise, but I wish to change this, let's say, to 30 degrees. So I just enter that value. And then to see my change, I can click on preview, right? So this is the change that's going to happen, a tilt of 30 degrees. If I like what I see in preview, I hit OK, and that change will happen. Now, what if I wish to copy this change, which means I wish to keep my current square, but I wish to copy another square that is tilting 30 degrees. So let me enter 30 and then hit copy instead of OK. So copy, and this is what I get. Remember from the previous tutorial, if we hit Command D, the previous step gets duplicated or repeated. So that's what I'm going to do now, Command D, and so forth. Command D, and so forth. So what you see is, right there we have, this effect of a flower just by rotating one square and then hitting Command D. Now, there are so many things you can do with this. Perhaps take this top square, change its color to blue, take the one behind it, change it to green, take the one even at the bottom and change it to yellow, select all three, and then under transparency, change the opacity of each to, like, let's say 60%. You can see a nice see-through design that's starting to happen. I'll cover transparency later on in detail, but I'm just showing you like the power of these tools. We just took a square, which was a regular square, and then we copied it and rotated it 30 degrees. We duplicated that rotation and then selected all elements, change the colors, and then the opacity. You start getting nice effects. You see overlaying colors and so forth. So this is one thing you can do. Obviously, again, as I said, I'll cover transparency later on in detail. Another thing that we can do with rotation is, let's say I take the ellipse tool and I draw this ellipse right here. Let's say I wish to color this this nice fuchsia, magenta. All right, and what I want to do is draw a flower, a nice flower, a daisy, if you will. And I'll do that by, again, going to the rotate tool, hit R, and this time the question is, what do I need to do in order for my petals, to be duplicated in a certain way that will end up giving me the shape of a daisy? Because if I do it regularly just by hitting enter and entering a value like 30 degrees and hitting copy, I'll get this effect, and then Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D. Okay, this is not a daisy. It looks like a flower, like a graphic cute flower, but it's not what I want. To get to what I want, which means to get to the petals, the exact petals that should be a copy of this original petal, what I do is just take the rotate tool, hover over this bottom point, the bottom vector point of this petal, and hold down the Alt key. Again, you will see when I hold down the Alt key, you will see this negative sign with dots, and then click. And the dialog box appears. Now, what this is good for is that when I duplicate now my petal, it's going to start duplicating as of this vector point and not as of the center. And that's because I hovered with my cursor, held down the Alt key right here at this bottom vector point, and then clicked. The dialog box opened, and now I can enter my value, let's say 35 degrees in this case, and then hit copy. I have my first petal, Command D, Command D, Command D until I get to the shape I want. Let's say I'm content with this. In this example, 35 degrees is not a good idea. Let me choose something else like 40 degrees. Copy. All right, this is much better. So I have this shape, which is, my daisy. If you want to see in outline mode or in preview mode, you go to Command Y and you see your shape right there. In the next tutorial, we'll do something very interesting with this shape and hopefully you'll like it, which is combining paths and working with that.